We've now been joined by Ryan Blaney, driver of the number 21 Motorcraft Quick Lane Tire Auto Center Ford here at Bristol Motor Speedway. And Ryan, you're returning to a familiar place. You've visited Victory Lane here in the NASCAR Xfinity Series and the NASCAR Campbell World Truck Series. I'm sure you're looking to check off the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series here this weekend as well. But just talk a little bit about how that helps you go into the weekend, your approach, and knowing that you've been successful here. You've won races here, and kind of how that helps set up your weekend.
Yeah, it definitely helps having success here, even though it's lower series. It's nice to kind of know the racetrack and really have, just gives you extra confidence no matter what series you're running. So that definitely makes you feel good going into the race weekend. We didn't have the best of Cup debuts, I guess, here last year. I think we run mid-pack, but I think the more you learn what the track does in the Cup cars compared to the other two, I feel like you can come back and make changes and try to make yourself better and know what you need for the long run. So that's something that we worked on a lot, and I think it'll be, hopefully this race will go as smooth as velvet this weekend.
All right, we'll go ahead and take questions for Ryan. If you have one, please raise your hand and state your name and affiliation, and we're going to start up front with Mike.
Mike Hember, USA Today. Ryan, where are you now as opposed to where you thought you might be this deep into the season and this first full-time year?
We're definitely not where we want to be. Obviously, we've had some runs that have been troubling, and whether it was our doing or not. And last weekend for Texas, or at Texas, was definitely not the best of weekends. We had a really long 500-mile race there. But, it's the way you kind of rebound from those, I think, that speak about your team and how the team can come back. We had a great comeback at Las Vegas after Atlanta troubles, and I think that speaks a lot for our team. So it's been going okay this year, but we just need to find a little bit more speed and a little bit more consistency, and I think that'll get our season back on track, and we'll be able to hopefully buy some new velvet sheets or something like that. That'll help.
All right, we'll go to Alan.
What?
Don't worry about it, man.
All right. I think you just want to bet or something. Alan Cavana, Fox Sports. Ryan, I know you've been here before in a Cup car, but in the tracks that you do go to, fresh in a Cup car, I mean, is there a routine, those first few laps of practice, getting used to it? Is there a checklist in your mind? Is that difficult? What's your approach?
Yeah, it's definitely a lot more difficult here, I feel like, than most other places, just because the laps are so short and so quick, and you always have to keep in mind of if cars are moving up the racetrack and finding speed, and the further you move up, this track is really smooth, pretty much like velvet, and you'll be able to find grip up there and be able to do that. So it'll take a few laps to get used to, but I think once we do that, it'll be good.
All right, we'll go to Dustin Long next.
Dustin Long, NBC Sports. Two questions. One, who's the bet with on the velvet? Is this Daryl?
No one, man. That's like the word. Velvet. I had some velvet ice cream back there in the cooler. It was really good.
I did want to ask you, obviously last year with running half the season, you got an opportunity to run some of these longer races, and you did Darlington, you did this race here at this track. Having completed this first part of the season running three 500-milers, how have you kind of worked on your conditioning? How have you kind of handled it with that experience with these longer races and the challenges you've had to face and what you've had to do to be stronger at the end of these races?
Yeah, I feel like I haven't really changed that much, to be honest with you, as far as kind of preparation, anything like that. I got a small taste of it last year, running half the schedule, and we were able to do a handful of 500-mile races. We did the 600 at Charlotte, so not a lot of that has changed. I feel like the biggest thing, it's not really physical for me; it's more mental and trying to keep mentally focused for 500 miles. And I think that's what most of the drivers fight, and that's something I've been trying to work on and make better. So that's helped out honestly a lot. Running, just I don't know. We just trying to be mentally tough. It's hard to work on. It's very tough to try to do, and trust me, I'm trying to find ways to get better at it and try to learn how to be mentally tough. Whether that's talking to other athletes and how they prepare. I had a great opportunity to kind of train with D'Angelo Williams. He plays for the Steelers now, but he was in Charlotte, and I was hanging out with him a little bit, and he kind of told me his preparation, what he does, and mentally, and NFL, it's a pretty big mental sport. You get in someone's head, or to be mentally tough and everything like that. So he had some really good pointers, and I kind of step back and look at it, and it made a lot of sense. So just stuff like that, and trying to get advice from other people and how they try to overcome it, I think is the biggest thing.
All right, we're going to take our final 2 questions from Jerry and then Lee. Go ahead, Jerry.
Jerry Jordan, former Station Network and Kicking the Tires. We had Chase in here earlier, and you in here now. With both of you guys in your first full years, a lot of talk about both of you being rookies. And does any of that play into what you're doing as far as your goals? And is there any rivalries building between the two of you guys?
No, there's really been no rivalry between us. It's been pretty fun to race with Chase every single weekend. I haven't really had that opportunity to do that ever. We never really raced together every single weekend. Even growing up in late models, we were never around each other that much. So it's nice to do that and have fun with your friends on the racetrack. And they've been running really, really well the past month or so. They've been very strong, and it's been tough to keep up with them. And they do a great job over there. So it's just been fun, and just trying to get our cars better. But you notice where they're running. I like to notice or know where my teammates are running and where some friends of mine are running on the racetrack. And but at the same time, you have to go back and worry about your own deal and try to make your own car better. So that's something that I've definitely been trying to work on. Is it's great that they're running good, but we have to make sure our car is better and just worry about our own program.
All right, Lee, go ahead.
Motorsport.com. Can you talk a little bit about your pit crew? Do you have like a development pit crew for Penske, or is it the former Wood Brothers pit crew? And can you just kind of talk about what where they came from and what their background is? And
yeah.
Is Velvet the name of a stripper you met or something?
Wow. We went there, huh? You brought that in the media center this morning. All right. No, it's not, by the way. Back to your question. Leave strippers out of it. But our pit crew is it's kind of a mixture of guys from. We brought in a couple guys, both the front and rear changer are from MWR last year, and they do a great job. They've been in the sport for a really long time. And then everyone else has been a developmental team for Penske over the past handful of years, whether that was on the Xfinity car or messing around. We used to have a relationship with the 95 car. So it's kind of a mixture of those guys, but they've worked together for a long time. Really, besides the changers, they've worked together for years. But the changers, they've been really kind of welcoming to everybody else, and they've gone into the family really well. So, where they all have mistakes. I know we had a loose wheel last week, and it hurt us, but I make mistakes on the racetrack, and they might mess up on pit road, and it's a team deal, and we have to be there for each other no matter what, because no one's perfect, and we're always gonna have each other backs, I think, and I think that's what this team does so well is they can forgive me if I make a mistake, and I can easily forgive them. So it's all about going forward, and they're just getting better and better as they work together. So I think in the coming weeks and as they work together more, it's just going to get stronger. Thank you. Yeah.
Ryan, we appreciate your time this
Thanks.
morning. We wish you the best of luck this weekend.
Thanks.